All right, guys. What if I told you that owning the equivalent of one fast food meal in Bitcoin is more rare than being a millionaire? Not joking. We're about to go through some numbers that are going to make you feel either really smart or really stupid about your financial decisions. Probably both. So let's go.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. So quick question. How many people on Earth do you think actually own Bitcoin? Take a guess. 10%, 5%, 1%. Go ahead, guys. Take a guess.
I know the answer to this because I did a video on this about four
Yeah,
years ago, and I don't think it's changed much. So it's under 1%.
for
Okay,
sure.
so the real answer is about 0.04%. So that's less than one half a percent. That's it. Out of
Damn.
8 billion humans walking around on the planet, the number of people holding even zero point zero 0.01 Bitcoin, which today is worth about $730 based on today's price, less than a decent pair of sneakers, fits inside a circle so small on a chart you can barely see it. So let that land. If you hold more than zero point zero 0.01 Bitcoin right now, you are already ahead of 99.96% of every living person on Earth. More rare than millionaires, more rare than people who own beachfront property. You are statistically a ghost. Now, here's where it gets properly mental. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. You guys have heard that a million times. The number is hard coded. No central bank meeting can change it. No politician can vote to print more. It is done. And of those 21 million, about 20 million have already been mined. We literally just crossed 95% of total supply right now. But here's the kicker. Roughly 3 to 4 million of those Bitcoin are gone forever already.
Probably
They're either
more.
lost in wallets or, all that.
It's gonna
Hacked,
be more.
lost, can't get to them. People have lost their seed words, lost hard drives, forgotten passwords. Satoshi's own 1.1 million coins sitting completely untouched since 2009. Nobody is spending those. So the real usable supply is closer to say 16 million. Some people think 15 million Bitcoin. For 8 billion people, do the math. If you split it evenly, every single human being on the planet gets 0.002% of a Bitcoin. At today's price, that's about $146. So if you're holding more than that, and most of you are watching probably are, congratulations, you are already above the global average. So I want to get your reactions, but let's take a look at the old sea creature chart that everybody used to go by. So what are you guys' thoughts so far?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it just kind of shows like how early, Bitcoin adoption is, right? Like at
Yeah.
some point, everyone's gonna have a little bit of Bitcoin. You're not gonna have a choice. But so if you own point
Well,
five
they're not
of a
gonna have Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
They're just gonna have Sats, bro. They're gonna have Satoshis, like the smallest amount ever. And
It's
that's
gonna, well,
because,
I think what's gonna happen is gonna be pretty hard to own a Bitcoin at some point as the price keeps going up.
yeah,
It's like it's gonna get almost in like for the average person, it's not even gonna seem like a reality, right? Once Bitcoin's at 500K, a million, you know.
well, that's already happening now, right? Like we're still so early. All Bitcoin still haven't been mined. They won't be finished mining until 2140 anyways. But I mean, right now, these big, huge companies are starting to buy up so much of it and they're starting to hoard it. And it's like that's going to get harder and harder and harder to get, especially because I think there's less than 2 million Bitcoin being exchanged back and forth on exchanges, right? Like it's not even
I
that
think
much.
I think it's one of it's one of the main reasons why it's like people are always saying, "Oh, Bitcoin should be used as like a means to like transfer money and like to spend it." But the reality is it's so valuable. It's not really
Yeah.
something you want to be spending, right? It's like you kind of want to just hold it.
Yep.
So that's when you break it down into the Satoshis, right? You get down into a different kind of method of spending it where it's not point one, it's more like, you go by the Satoshis, which is a much wider number. You can
Yep.
actually start spending it and it could be reasonable.
But
Yeah,
I
so
think
if you
people
look
are
at
going
this
to start.
chart, this is actually the chart that a lot of people use when Bitcoin was worth a lot less. So now this chart kind of doesn't really make sense
Yeah,
because the
doesn't,
bottom
yeah.
here is like under one Bitcoin, and now most people are way under one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like how many sharks do you know? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if you're a shark, your bloodline's good for a long time.
Yeah. It feels
All
good to
right.
be a shark.
So, well, for now,
Just
let's
kidding.
forget the old sea creature chart and let's use something that people might relate to. Let's do some well, the video we are react to swaps that out for cars, which is honestly more relatable. So here's the breakdown if you use the cars. So in this case, under zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, which is under $730 value, you are a Vespa. 88% of all Bitcoin wallets live here, still moving, no shame in it. Between zero point zero 0.01 and zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, so 730 to say $7,300 value in that range, you're in a Hyundai. Practical, stacking steadily, you're on the road. And then we go from zero point 0.1 to a full Bitcoin, which a lot of people want that full Bitcoin because they just want to feel like they own the whole thing. That puts you in a price range from 7,300 all the way up to 73,000. So that would
It's
be like a
crazy.
Tesla. Only 30% of wallets reach this tier.
It's a
You've got
Cybertruck.
dial now if you get there. And then
You're a
from,
Cybertruck if you own a Bitcoin.
yeah, from 1 to 10 Bitcoin, which is when you're really starting to talk, right? If you got one between 1 and 10, you should feel pretty damn proud. That means you're going from 73,000 up to, or no, I'm sorry, from point one, no, from 1 to 10,
Oh,
it's just
1 to 10.
73,000 up to
That's
Yeah.
when you pull up in that
700,000.
Porsche and all the girls start looking, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Porsche
exactly.
territory, just 8% of wallets. People are starting to notice. And if you got 10 plus Bitcoins, that puts you at 730K all the way up to anything over 730. So you're in the millionaire range. Lamborghini,
Yeah.
top 1.2% of all wallets. You are the meme. You made it. Now, here's the comparison that actually broke my brain. Now, I'm wondering if this is the next image we should go after. To crack the top 10% of net worth in the US, you need about $1.2 million. In the UK, it is around 600 euros. But to be in the top 10% of all Bitcoin holders, you need zero point 0.1 of a Bitcoin. So think of that comparison. It's a hell of a lot easier to be a top 10% Bitcoin than a top 10% wealth. Um, at today's prices, that is only $7,300, the cost of a long weekend trip or used car down payment. In terms of pure rarity, $7,300 of Bitcoin puts you in the same tier as a traditional millionaire. Over one Bitcoin, $73,000, still down. 42% from last October's all-time high of 126,000. And you are in multimillionaire rarity territory. 10 Bitcoin and you are sitting alongside billionaires as far as comparison, not in dollars, in scarcity. And scarcity has a habit of catching up. So I think I think that is
Well,
the
I
story
think
is you can get ahead and then scarcity will catch up to you and you will
this
be.
is this is what it's like to hold dollars, and this is what it's like to hold Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So you can have zero point 0.1 of a Bitcoin, or you could have the equivalent in dollars, and the value is going to do this while the value goes like this with Bitcoin. So what would you rather hold your money in? Something that appreciates time and time again and keeps going up because it's scarce and there's never going to be more of it. You can't print it, you can't hyperinflate it. And as hyperinflation starts on the other side with dollars, it does nothing but push Bitcoin's
Well,
price up. So you got to ask yourself, where would I rather keep my value? In something that over time always goes up and is the best performing asset ever in the history of the universe? Or do I want to jump into something that they just keep printing and the value keeps going down?
yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's what people don't understand, though. They see dollars and they see $100, and they're like, "Well, this is $100," but it's like they don't understand that their buying power of that $100 has gone down significantly. In comparison to
Yeah.
Bitcoin, which
So
just keeps appreciating.
I think what the goal here is, guys, is get off that damn Vespa and try to at least hop into a Hyundai because you can pick a girl up in a Hyundai. Vespa, super dangerous. You know
Get
what I
off
mean? You got
zero.
to wear a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Get off zero, period, or get on a
Just get off
Vespa.
zero.
Just get on
So
a Vespa
anyways,
so you can get there.
so this
Yeah,
is kind of a different style video that we'll do more, which is educational, but it's, like this makes you wake up and kind of go, damn, really? Let's do it. So let's not make the video too long. So, we don't freak people out with super long videos. We'll end it here, but make sure to subscribe because we're going to do more videos like this that can help educate and really give you that, contrast so you can kind of like really think about it.